This is session 5 of your traffic and SEO training. In this session, we're going to talk about social bookmarking for more traffic and Web 2.0 properties. The first part talking about Web 2.0 properties.
And let's just jump right into this. And there's actually one other little thing that I'm going to be showing you guys here that I didn't put on the intro slide, and that is how to check your website statistics. I thought this was a good part to kind of teach you how to do this and how to read your web stats, because at this point you could have and should have done some things where you can start seeing some results with your website traffic. So I'm going to give you guys the tools you can use to kind of check your web stats. So the first thing you want to do is here's a list of some programs you can use to check your website stats. The first one is called AW Stats, and Webalizer is another one, and then Google Analytics. And the good news for you is that all of these programs are actually free to use. So it doesn't cost you anything to use these programs. And what's so great about them, AW Stats and Webalizer actually come installed with your hosting account about 90% of the time if you're using a hosting company that's using cPanel, which in most cases your website host will, and that is if your website's hosted with Google, or excuse me, I'm sorry, not Google, with HostGator or Bluehost or something like IX Web Hosting. A lot of the major ones use cPanel. GoDaddy does not, by the way. That's one complaint I have with GoDaddy, is that with their hosting, they do make you pay a monthly fee if you want it. So for people on GoDaddy, I'd recommend you use Google Analytics. And if you are using, a site or a website hosting company that has cPanel, which has AW Stats and Webalizer, then I would still look at using Google Analytics, because it's kind of nice to be able to track your website statistics all around. So at least that way you can kind of get a rough idea as to all the different options you have for traffic. So and basically the core thing here is the web host offering cPanel give you stat tracking software that you need, and that's AW Stats and Webalizer. And some of the important stats that you want to look for are the unique visitors and the length of time they stay on your website. And those are some important things to look at, among other things. Those are the core things to look at. You will see typically with website things, people will talk about hits. Oh, your website hits are up, or website hits, and hits are really actually kind of meaningless when it comes to tracking website stats. And that's why the tool that GoDaddy gives you to track stats is pretty much worthless, unless they've changed it since I last saw it in there. But they have a tool that tells you, basically how many hits you're getting. Well, basically what they count a hit as is let's say you have a squeeze or a website that has 5 images on it. Well, every time that page loads, they're going to count that as like 5 or 6 times, however many images you have. Every time it loads and calls a file, which when your websites load in the background, they're pulling up images and such. So every time it hits your server, that counts as a hit. And so hits are really inaccurate, because if you have a site with 100 images on it, little images or something, then there's 100 hits every time somebody pulls up the site. So hits are really pretty much inaccurate. The best things you want to be looking for are visitors and unique visitors. And unique visitors is most important, just because a visitor, that could be somebody that comes to your site multiple times. So that's like one person from the same household, or basically the same household in that basically it comes from the same household. So it's pretty much like one customer to your website. And also it's like if you go to your website, you probably hit your website every single day. And so that would count as a visit to your website, but it's not going to count as a unique visitor unless you've completely, cleared your cookies, which a lot of people don't. So, so that's something to keep in mind. So you want to make sure you're differentiating between unique visitors and regular visitors. And length of time on site, that's kind of an important stat to look at overall. And the main reason is just because the longer people stay on your site, the better results you're going to tend to receive. Now, in all examples, this isn't 100% accurate, just because if you're using like a landing page, for example, like a squeeze page, where you have an opt-in box where people grab their name and email, you don't really want them to be on that page for 5 minutes, because they're going to be thinking too long about filling out the form. But 90% of the time with your website, or you've got pages you're trying to sell people, you've got a sales page, a sales video, you might have materials about your company, your services, your products. You want people to stay a good amount of time. And online, you usually have about 10 seconds to grab people's attention, So if you're seeing in your website stats that your average visitors are staying about a minute or 2 on your site, that's actually really good, because that means that gives them time to actually make what you would say almost like an accurate decision about whether to buy or not from your company, and that really will help you, because what you want to watch for is people getting to your site and all of a sudden the stats showing you that within 30 seconds they're leaving your site or something, because it takes longer than 30 seconds to read a sales page. So you want to keep that in mind. You also want to try to see which pages they're leaving your website from as well. So I'm going to show you how to use some of these tools. And another thing you can do is look up the various keyword phrases that people are finding you for. So these website tracking tools will actually tell you that certain, people are finding you for different keyword phrases. So, it'll actually give you some ideas of some additional keyword phrases that you might consider targeting, because these are keywords that by accident you might be ranking for, by accident you're getting traffic from. And sometimes it's amazing because there are people that will browse through to page 6 and 16, and so you might see, wow, I'm getting a lot of visitors for this certain phrase. I bet, and I'm only on page 6 or something. So you think, okay, well, if I started optimizing a page and I created a blog post or an article around this keyword phrase, then that might rank pretty well for me. So you can go through your stats and start thinking of new pages to rank your site for. So that's how you can use, and check your website stats. So here's a little bit about AW stats and Webalizer. You want to make sure that you have selected to view stats for them in your cPanel. And so I'm going to show you how to set that up. And these are provided by your website hosting companies that offer cPanel. And AW stats and Webalizer will vary quite a bit from each other. So keep that in mind as far as the numbers go. So typically the numbers are going to be, almost, one might say that you're getting 1,000 visitors a month, and the other one might say you're getting 2,000 a month. Like, it's that far off. But I like to use them as a gauge. It's kind of a trend almost to kind of see, okay, how's my traffic doing, or is the traffic increasing? Is it decreasing? What kind of things are causing it? That's kind of the thing you want to look for with these tracking programs. So let's look at an example of each of these programs. So I'm going to log into a cPanel here really quick. So let me pull that up here. Okay, so I'm logging in here, and I'm going to make the screen live here in just a moment for everybody. Okay, so what you guys should see on my screen right now is me logging into my control panel. So you'll see here my website. I'm hosted with Bluehost. It's a great hosting company, and if any of you guys want to sign up with them, let me know. They have excellent deals. I've had no issues at all as far as bandwidth goes. I have a lot of domains with them. Yeah, I just have a lot of things going on with Bluehost. I have all my downloads for all the different products and services I have. A lot of these are all hosted here with Bluehost, so I have a lot of content here, and the only cost is $7.95 a month. So I do like Bluehost a ton. So they are very, very good. So if you're looking for a web host, they might be one to consider. But they do have cPanel. HostGator accounts do. Most hosting companies have cPanel. So what you're going to do here is scroll on down to where it says log files, and you're going to just simply choose whichever one you want to use. So whether it's Webalizer or AW Stats. But first, when you first set it up, especially if you're with Bluehost, HostGator does it, might do it slightly different. But you want to make sure that you selected choose log programs. And you want to go down here and you want to find different, websites that, like, here's a site of mine. And notice all these sites are going to have .counterspr.com because that's the main domain on my account. So don't worry about that though. If you see that in your account, that's all it is, just a little subdomain. How they set it up structurally wise, but it's the same thing as having your core domain. And that's why you just want to promote your core domain name. But you want to make sure that you have checked marked here inside, the box that tells you to choose your log program. So notice I just checked there because I want some of these websites, show up. I want to see what kind of traffic they are getting. So I can just click on a couple of those, and next thing we do is come right over here, and you would just select. So just come right over here, and then you're going to choose Save Changes. And if it's the first time you've done this, first time that you've saved these changes on the domain that you want to start tracking, so that might be something you want to do tonight. You're not going to be able to see the web stats for probably at least 48 to 72 hours. But if it's your default domain, which most cases, you might only have one domain, then it's going to automatically already have your first one there. Now keep in mind that what I'm showing you here is basically on the majority of website hosting companies. So if you do end up having issues with this, send me a support ticket. One of the best things you can do is actually call up your hosting company or send them a support ticket, because they will be able to help you find the best web tracking program that they offer. But most your website hosting companies will provide cPanel, and if they do, they typically have these things installed. So here's Webalizer. It's the first one we're going to take a look at, and I'm just going to grab one of these sites here, one of the mini sites that I have, and we're going to just pull up the web stats here for you guys to take a look at. So inside Webalizer, I don't like Webalizer because it's not as nice to look at. I don't think. I think it kind of gives you a kind of a nasty view. But basically here with Webalizer is you can actually just click right here. Like these are stats. It looks like dating back. These are kind of old stats, but most of the time they're pretty updated. But notice, let's just look at May right here. And you'll notice here it'll tell you total hits, which again, that's useless. It tells me there's 106,000 hits. There was actually only, according to them, there was about 7,000 total visits of actual people that went to the site. Total pages. Now, Pageviews is telling you how many pages people have viewed on your site. So if your website has maybe it's 10 page, you have a 10-page website, and the average person maybe looks at 3 pages on your site. So that each time they look at a new page, that's a page view. So that's a pretty important stat as well to look at. Now you're going to notice here when I get on to the next one, this one can be kind of hard to look at, but this one kind of tells you, the amount of website stats per day. So every single day it tells you how many hits, how much file usage. It just means how much, basically, how many different files they pulled from and all this stuff, like your images. So that these two you don't need to worry about, hits and files. Pages tells you how many pages it looked at. The yellow is the, like the unique visitors, and then you've got kilobytes of information that they've looked at. And it even gives you a breakdown of hourly usage, and this is all a free tool, so it kind of tells you, basically, what your traffic was looking like throughout the days, what kind of things were happening. So it tells you, on like, let's see here. And it's all on Army time here, so at 1500 hours, which would be like 3 o'clock Eastern, let's say, I was getting a lot of traffic at 1400 hours here, whatever, which is about 2 o'clock, that's when it looks like most of my traffic and things are taking place, just because, and you can track hits, like I don't record the numbers, but you can track hits to see how your web stats are doing. So basically gives you an idea of, okay, at this hour, my site's most active. You can use that site as you will. Here is some other things you can track. The exit pages. This will tell you basically what pages that are the pages that people are leaving you from the most. So I see here that like my home page, and if it's just a / and that's all, that's actually just your home page. So that's all they're tracking there. But this will tell you, okay, a lot of people are leaving me from this page. Maybe I better do something about that. Here's a different way. Sites that are referring to here. You're going to see a lot of things that might look kind of funky in here. So I don't really worry about that. Those are sites that just different people's IP addresses and things like that. Here's the 250 of 381 referring sites. A lot of these would be referring URLs within your site because they're finding things within your site. You see here Google search, you see some other stats show up, MSN search, Ask search, some different things, kind of gives you a rough idea there. Top 20 search strings. So this tells me anaerobic threshold, that's a big keyword phrase. Weight loss articles is a big keyword phrase. Stomach bulge, how to lose 10 pounds in a month. This is a weight loss site, weight loss encouragement. So these are all keyword phrases that people are finding my site for. So if I go back and I were to type in these phrases and say, that's interesting, I'm getting a lot of traffic for this phrase, but my site's not ranked very well for it. Well, that means that I would go back and create a page around that keyword phrase. I would do some marketing, video marketing, some Web 2.0 properties, all the stuff I'm going to teach you here, just because that's going to really kind of give you kickstart in the right direction, because there's actually traffic for these keyword phrases. And if you're not ranked well, just imagine until you're ranked well what would happen. So that's how you can use that tool. This tool tells you what kind of browser most of the people are using, or down here it shows you. This one actually shows you countries, so you can look at countries. And so this is just your basic overview of Webalizer. It gives you just some basic stats. Most of your data is right here, and then you could narrow it down further, by your daily usage and how that went. So that is Webalizer and how you use that program. So let's go back here and go back to your cPanel, and you're going to be looking right in the same area for where you found Webalizer. You're going to be looking for AW stats. So we're going to kind of see hopefully how different some of these web stats actually are. So there is AW stats, and let's just click on this. And let's see here. Let's pull down to, we were looking at May 2008, so let's look at that for this site. And notice here, they're telling me that I actually had almost 4,000 unique visitors. The other one was telling me I had almost 7,000 some. So you see how different they are. And so basically, one of the best things you can do if you really feel like you want to get a number, average the two together, might be the best bet for you. I really couldn't tell you exactly which one's more accurate. I know that question's probably going through your mind. Honestly, the main thing you want to be doing is tracking, are my web stats increasing? You want to see some increases going on. Now, this site's showing a little decline, so I need to do actually a lot of work on this. I haven't done any work on it since back in May, and then that's when things were high. So this tells you basically your unique visitors. This one's a lot easier to read. I personally prefer looking at Webalizer stats or AW stats, how they lay it out, because it's just so much cleaner and it's a little easier to follow. This tells you number of visitors by day. So each day of that month, there are 200 visitors on this day, on down. So it tells you the average visitors per day. They just have it laid out really, really clear, and they give you more data, I feel like, than the other ones. This one also tells you, on each day what kind of your average visitors were, and this one kind of shows me that it's pretty average throughout the week, and it tends to tail off on the weekend, which is pretty normal. Hours of the day, just like the other one, tells you what kind of your traffic looks like. It's fairly stable throughout the day, mostly in the midday. US is most of my traffic. That's not a shock. So this just kind of takes you down through there. This tells you visits duration. Notice this stat here, 0 to 30 seconds. So this would be a site that I would be like, wow, I need to improve that, because there is people leaving the site fast. So I need to do something that would get them to stay longer. And I do need to work on a redesign for the site, because I probably could tell you exactly why they're leaving. So this is a good indicator as to why people, what you need to be looking for is, okay, a lot of my visitors are leaving quickly. And so again, this is one of those free tools that cPanel offers. This tells you what's kind of interesting is some of these URLs actually match up almost identical to what the other one was as far as URLs that get the most traffic. One tool I really like to see, though, is the referring sites. That's a great tool. They tell you kind of where your traffic's going from, and then referring search engines kind of tells you where your search engine traffic's going from. Most of my search engine traffic is Google by about 91%. So if you can see that, how big Google is in the scheme of things. Yahoo's not even on the map, even though I rank for that. In Yahoo, Google is just dominating for this site. So you definitely want to focus most of your attention on Google anyways. Search key phrases will tell you some different keywords that people are finding you for. So here's kind of some interesting: unbalanced diet, anaerobic threshold, weight loss articles, lose 10 pounds in 1 month. So these are kind of similar articles to what people were finding me before. So there's a whole slew of potential keyword phrases, and this number tells you how many people found you each and every month. Or basically each and every month, how many people came to your site for this keyword. So 215 people came to my site for the word unbalanced diet. So that would tell me, okay, maybe I should focus some things on that core keyword phrase. So these tools are active. If you have questions using them, let me know. Your web host might be the best as far as helping you making sure that it's set up on your server. So it's AW Stats and Webalizer, and those are the best ones that you can go ahead and use. So I'm going to go ahead and log out of my cPanel here, and we're going to jump on over to Google Analytics, and I'm going to show you guys how to set up a Google Analytics account. So it's just google.com/analytics, but let's in the meantime jump over to the presentation here. So we're back here in the presentation here, and this is the URL again, google.com/analytics. and this is a free website statistic tracking program that you can use with any site. I personally recommend that you use this in conjunction with your other tracking programs that your hosting company provides. Especially if you're on GoDaddy, I would highly recommend you use Google Analytics because there's no need to pay for their upgrade. The stats will vary from the other programs as well, so keep that in mind. So, just be prepared for that your stats will be quite a bit different. All you do with this is you simply add a line of code to your website, and I'll show you how to get that code, and it's a very clean and user-friendly interface for you, so it's very simple to use. So let me show you an example of this, of Google Analytics. Okay, so when you first want to set up your Google Analytics account, I'm going to show you how to set up your account, and then we'll get on with our presentation here. So first thing you want to do is choose Access Analytics, and you just want to log in with your Google account if you already have one. So I'm just going to sign in here. And what you're going to do inside here is you're going to go ahead and set up a new account. So for this example, we want to set up a new page. So I'm going to go right over here to where it says My Analytics Accounts. This account I just deleted. It was a test blog I had. So you can just go right over here down the right side and choose Create New Account. When you first log in, it's going to ask you to create your new account. So you want to go right here and choose Sign Up for Google Analytics. And website's URL, very self-explanatory, www.yourwebsite.com. I'm going to use the Tulsa Chiropractor site as the example here. Account name, I just leave it at the domain name. Time zone, you can set it to where you are located. I'm on Central Time. You can set it to whatever time zone you happen to be on, or whichever one works best. Most of the time it might be Eastern, Central, Pacific, whatever works best for you, so you kind of know when the day's ending on these statistical reports. So that's kind of a cool feature. This is, again, basic information: your last name, your first name, and your phone number. And then please select the country. That's self-explanatory. And then go ahead and choose Create Account. I've gone through their terms of service before, but when you're first there, you might want to read through that. Choose Yes, I agree, and then select Create New Account. And once you've created your new account, what you're going to get is this really nasty looking code. So before you panic and throw your arms up in the air, it's really actually very basic to install this. So what you need to do is just click your mouse one time on there. So you just click your mouse one time, right click, and choose Copy. So click your mouse one time, right click, and choose Copy. So again, I clicked my mouse once, I right clicked, and I did Copy. And now you're going to go right back over here to wherever your website is hosted. So in this example, I've got this website hosted with WordPress. So I'm going to go right on over to WordPress, and I'm just going to simply log into WordPress here. And this would be slightly different if your website, is just a static HTML site, which a lot of sites are, and that's okay if they are. So if you have just a static type HTML website, then that's how you're going to, you're going to access it with like Microsoft Expressions Web Design or Dreamweaver or something of that nature. But it's going to be the same thing. You're going to do all this stuff that I'm showing you here inside what's called the code view, inside the code view. WordPress makes it very, very convenient. They do have a plugin for it, but I personally like to just do it manually because I've had issues with getting their plugin to go in correctly. So I just do it the old-fashioned way, and it's very easy. So all you do is come right down here and you choose Appearance and you choose Editor. And what you're going to look for is footer. And when you're actually doing this in your own HTML code, you're going to be looking for the footer of the code. So you're going to be looking for like the code that comes up right before the body tag ends. So you notice here where the body tag is actually going to be ending. Notice that. And what you're going to do here is you want to just install your Google Analytics code right in here. So you want to highlight right here. So highlight your Google Analytics. So I've already got it kind of installed here, but let's just show you the example here. You can just highlight it and copy and paste it. So you're just going to copy and paste it directly before the caret to the left. and the body tag. So just copy and paste it right in there, and then choose Update File. And that's how you do it on WordPress. It's going to be the exact same thing. You're going to go into the code view of your static HTML site. So it's going to be the code view of your web editor. Or you could also outsource this or submit a support ticket if you are running into problems. But you're going to just go right until you see the body. There's always going to be a closed body tag, or in most there should be, on your website. And right before it, you're going to paste in your Google Analytics. And then you're going to just save that file and re-upload it to your server. Now, if you're using a static HTML site, and you happen to have, when I say static HTML site, I mean like a site that is not built on WordPress, so it's a site you manually go in and edit, which is fine. Those sites do great. So I'm not knocking those sites or anything. I'm just showing you as an example with WordPress. But if you are using a site like that and you don't have what's called an includes file, and if you have to ask what that is, chances are you don't have one. So just assume you don't have it. And what you're going to have to do is go to all the pages of your website, and you're going to have to manually copy and paste in the Google Analytics code. And the reason you're doing that is because Google Analytics will read all the pages on your site that code is installed on, and you want them to be able to read that kind of information. So, the only pages you may not have it on there would be like your download pages. You don't really need to be tracking stats there, but your sales page, your article pages, and all that. Now, if you're using WordPress, you just do it one time and it automatically goes in the footer because they have what's called the includes file. So that HTML code that I just did is included on every single page. So without getting further into HTML things, but that's how you go ahead and do Google Analytics. So it's very simple. And once you've installed the code, you just choose Finish. And it's going to load the page here. And basically you just come right over here to where it says status, and the tracking's unknown, and then I would check back and give it a few minutes and then check and make sure that the web stat is uploaded correctly. So now you can go ahead and log out of your Google Analytics account, and let's just go right back over here to the presentation. So we're going to now start picking right back up here and talk about social bookmarking, a little bit about social bookmarking and what it is and how it works for you. So the first thing we're going to do is talk a little bit about social bookmarking, then I'll show you some examples. So basically, social bookmarking is a method for you to share, store, and organize websites, stories, or things online that you appreciate. This would also include things like articles, videos, on video hosting sites, whatever it is. It's a method for you to share it. It's a method for people. It's a social thing where people can share things. Well, in this example, we're using these social bookmarking sites as a marketing tool as well. So this is how you use them. So it's more of a way to share your favorite websites with the world, which in most cases is going to be your own sites, your own articles, and things like that, typically. Social bookmarking websites get a lot of traffic, so that's why they're great to use, because they are, pretty high authority websites. Most of them are. They get a lot of traffic, so they're good to use that way. And submitting to these websites helps you build backlinks and exposure for your own website. And even if it doesn't give you a direct backlink, which Dig doesn't give you a direct backlink like it used to. But what it does is it gives you exposure. It gives you more exposure. And what I found with Dig and some of these other sites is if you use your core keyword phrases when submitting to them, most of the time your site could actually start ranking high in the search engines for the particular keyword phrases that you're trying to rank for. So that actual page on Dig, because when you dig something or you socially bookmark something, most of the time they create a separate page for that particular bookmarking action that you just did. So what that means is that they are automatically creating new pages. Like some of these sites have literally millions of new pages because they automatically generate a new page as you do your dig on it. And what happens is that these pages will oftentimes show up in the search results. So it's kind of like what we talked about with the article marketing and how you can leverage that with your keywords. Same thing with the press release marketing. And now we're talking about social bookmarking, and later on in this presentation we'll talk about Web 2.0 properties. So all these things are geared towards not only getting your site ranked, but also helping you index new content, but also help additional places for additional exposure, because it's all about getting more exposure. If if you only have your website, if you're only relying on just getting SEO done on just your website, then there's only one really main area where people can find you, and that's through Google and hopefully just to your website. Well, it'd be nice if you could have multiple avenues where people can funnel through to your website, and that's really the goal of social bookmarking, along with helping to mass promote your new content as you add it. So here's some social bookmarking tips. You want to bookmark both your home page and your internal pages as well. You will also bookmark your blog page and other Web 2.0 properties like Squidoo pages or online videos. And so those would be things like you create an online video, which we'll cover next week or next lesson. And in that lesson, after you've created your video, you would go back and bookmark that video, or you would bookmark the Squidoo page, which I'm going to show you how to make here in a bit. Or maybe it's your own website, or it's your own blog, or whatever it is, it's your squeeze page, whatever it might be, you can bookmark that. You want to use your keyword phrases as the title for your bookmark. And as you'll see in a moment, when you do a bookmark, they will ask for your core keyword phrases, so you want to keep that in mind. You might consider setting up several social bookmarking profiles as well with each website. So basically, you might consider setting up several bookmarking profiles. So that means there's literally hundreds of these sites, but there's a core 30 to 50 that are really good to submit to. So one thing you want to do is you want to consider setting up several social bookmarking profiles. So that means you have several accounts created for each one of these sites, and you want to just use like a spreadsheet to kind of keep track of the different logins for each and every one. And inside your hosting company, you can actually create multiple multiple email addresses that you can use to sign up for these. You could also create multiple Google Gmail accounts and whatnot. And so, but you do want to try to have several profiles, just because that can kind of help you spread things out among your websites and your bookmarking. And you want to also occasionally bookmark other pages as well, especially other pages that are related to your niche, because that will kind of show these bookmarking sites that you are interested in the subject of weight loss, for example. So you bookmark other weight loss sites, and it just so happens your site and maybe YouTube video that you've done, a few other things happen to be in that mix too. So that's kind of some good tips for social bookmarking. And you want to definitely use some tools to automate the process. But here's some preparation, and some of those tools, I'm actually going to show you two of those social bookmarking tools right here. You want to come up with the following before you start bookmarking, and you want to place this into a notepad file. The first thing you want to use is come up with the title that you are going to use for your bookmarks. In this case, it's going to be the core keyword phrase that you happen to be trying to go after. So, for example, let's say I'm trying to go after the keyword phrase, let's say it's weight loss articles, for example. So the title of my bookmark would be weight loss articles. And so that would be the title. That's my core keyword phrase. That's what I'm going to submit to the social bookmarking sites as my title. So you want to get out like a text pad editor or notepad editor and write this down. And the reason is just because it's easier to copy and paste from these kind of sites. So that's the title you're going to use. Then next you want to have a short description. So a short description of 1 or 2 sentences talking in detail about, basically about what your website is. So it could be 1 sentence to 3 sentences talking about what your website is and why they should check out that site. And in the description, try not to be over hypey and pitchy, because that's not going to attract a lot of people. But just try to include your core keyword phrase in the description once or twice. Make it flow, make it be easy to read, and make it somewhat interesting as to why they might want to see your site. So the description is very basic. It could be as simple as check out these great weight loss articles that I found. Something like that. The next thing is your keywords and tags. And in this little area, a lot of these will either ask for keywords or tags. Most of them are going to ask for tags, and tags are pretty much the same thing as keyword phrases. So you come up with keyword phrases related to the niche, related to the website that you are promoting. So again, weight loss articles, weight loss. I like to use the title and the main keyword that I'm going after as one of the keywords, just because it gets it on that page additionally another time, because they oftentimes display their tags there. So you want to try to use your core keyword phrase once in your keywords and tags, and you want to also come up with additional keywords inside your niche. And you don't have to come up with a lot. I typically don't come up with more than 5 keyword phrases, and a phrase would be 2 or 3 words in length. And then you obviously want to put in your URL into this sheet. And the reason I'm having you create this is because it's going to make your life much easier when you start going in and bookmarking these sites, because you're just going to be copying and pasting. So okay, title, okay, boom. Description, boom. Keywords, boom. URL, boom. Got it done. So that's really what it's going to do. It's going to really speed up the process. So one thing, as far as preparation goes, is you want to go over to socialmarketing.com and sign up for the sites you see on the page after you put in your title and URL. So I'm going to show you how that works here in a moment. but let me jump back here and show you another site. Socialmarker.com has another list of sites, and Social Marketing, like I said, has more. And then onlywire.com has a list of sites, but it also helps you automate the process. And then here's another couple of social bookmarking sites to consider. So I'm going to come back to this slide here, so don't worry about writing this too fast. I'm going to actually show you right now live how you guys can go ahead and start bookmarking. So let's just jump right over here, and I'm going to pull up one of the first sites I'm going to pull up here is actually socialmarker.com. Then I'm going to pull up another site called socialmarking.com. Okay, so right up here on my site is socialmarker.com. That is just SOCIAL marker.com, just like you see on your screen here. And basically what socialmarker.com is, they do have a tool that kind of helps you automate the social bookmarking process a little bit to 160 bookmarking sites. So they do help you automate the process a little bit. So now I tend to like Social Marking service a little bit better. I know some people might disagree there, but I like how Social Marking does it. But what I like about Social Marker is that in a nice clear area they give you a variety of different websites to check out. And I typically go with all these sites, but you notice here if you go to their icons, you can actually click on each one of their logos here, and you could actually go right on over to the website and actually do a bookmark of it. So just so you guys know how basically the social bookmarking process works, I'm going to show you how that functions. So I'm over here on a site called propeller.com. It's one of the sites that I clicked on from Social Marker. And what I want to point out to you is you want to try to set up an account with each and every one of these. Obviously you guys could avoid Twitter because that's not really a platform for social bookmarking. Technorati's one you guys could avoid as well. So Technorati and Twitter you could kind of do without for this process. The other ones you could go ahead and set up accounts with each and every one of these. So all you're doing is just clicking on the logo, going through the process, choosing register, and you just basically are putting in your your name, your email, and make sure that I like to have like a spreadsheet open so you're recording all these usernames and passwords so you know exactly where you can go to find all these various passwords. And I like what they offer here on Social Marker as far as giving you a good glimpse of all these sites. They have some options too where they say just the best sites, just the best social bookmarking sites, and they bring them all to the top. That's kind of up to them because I still like a lot of these other ones. They also have one that says do follow, and these are sites that only pass a direct link onto your website. So those are ones that you could consider as well if you were just trying to do this from a link building perspective. So you could just sign up for those ones. But I like to do them all just because Propeller, Dig, Delicious, Reddit, all those are really high traffic and high authority, so they rank well. So I like to do them all. Same concept as with article marketing, press release marketing. The more you do, the more results that you're going to get and the more beneficial that it is going to be for you. So let me just jump back here to propeller.com, and I'm going to kind of go through the steps here of submitting a site. So we're going to go right over here to where it says submit. Most social bookmarking sites will say submit news or submit information, and whatever the case might be. So I'm going to first sign into my account though. So let me go ahead and do that really quick. Okay, so I'm all signed in here, and it's going to ask me to enter my URL of my story or website. So in this case, I'm going to input my website. And some of these sites will let you only submit an article of your website. So instead of typing in your whole website, you might put in your website with an article attached to it. So if you get a notice that they don't like that, go ahead and you can go back and fix that. But here it is, story title. They will pull from your title tags, so if you've done a good job with your title tags, you should actually be in fairly good shape. I always like to test it, but if you don't like what they give you, just go right over here and type that in. But I'm going to just stick with what they've given me here. That's great. So what you can do here under story description is type in basically something about your website. So find a great variety of Tulsa, Oklahoma chiropractors. And again, this would apply to your niche, whatever it is, your keyword phrase up there. Whether you're a small business, you're trying to rank for Chicago, Illinois bakery, same exact steps that you're going to follow here. So here's, just the thing. Find a great variety of Tulsa, Oklahoma chiropractors that are reputable and ready to work with you. Or ready to help you. There we go. So there's my description. If I was doing this right, I would have copied and pasted all this into a notepad file. But here, user tags, sometimes it will pull off those, so that's good. So you could try chiropractors Tulsa, you could try Oklahoma chiropractors. So yours would be, like bird watching, weight loss, whatever your niche is, goes right there. Story category, this is going to be more of a health type news because it's related to chiropractors. Could be business because it's about business as well. And then you just choose preview story and you make sure everything looks okay. So I'm going to just look at this and then I'm going to choose approve and submit. And the reason I like Propeller is they're not going to pass a direct on link directly to your site, but what they're going to do is actually this site gets a pile of traffic and they rank well in the search engines for their various keyword phrases, and so they do a fabulous job of it. So I personally like using them when bookmarking. So here, when your bookmark is done, this is what it looks like. So Tulsa, Oklahoma chiropractors, find a Tulsa chiropractor today. So it has my core keyword phrases up there. And if you click right there to read the full story, it would take them directly over to my website in a new window so they could take a look at what I have to offer there. So there's the website. So, so there's that. There's how that functions. So now you can just sign out of that and go on to your next site. So it's really easy, especially you can see if you've copied and pasted the data. It shouldn't take you very long on each and every website. I'm going to show you Dig one, as just another example here because they're all kind of different, but they're very much the same. Dig.com is going to function in a very similar fashion. You're just going to, first log into your account or choose join since it might be your first time there. And so we're just going to log in here. And then you would just choose submit new. And so we could come over here and we could find an article that we are going to submit. Let's just go over to my blog here and grab an article that looks good. Okay, so this article looks good to me. I'm going to go ahead and bookmark this. I might have already submitted it to them, so they will let me know. You just notice their URL there. Whoops. So you just enter the URL. News and articles most of the time is what it's going to be, or video. In this case, I'm actually got 2 links to videos that they could actually watch. And if it's like a YouTube link, obviously that would be a video as well. So it's digging through my submission for a title. I would come up with the keyword phrase. So my keyword phrase is, niche research, find a profitable niche market. And then you just plug in your description. Learn how to find a good, profitable niche market in these 2 short and powerful videos. Okay, so I'm going to just modify that a little bit. And then you choose your category. So it sometimes will pull a picture from your site. Most of the time, if they don't apply to your thing, just choose no thumbnail. And then choose your topic. So in this case, it's business and finance. And it's going to say, preview of what it's going to look like. So I'm just put in the keywords that they have there. And now they're checking for duplicates. Now Dig sometimes won't ask, does not ask for tags, but some of them will. So keep that in mind. This time it's going to say, okay, it looks like something else. So I'm going to just say it's totally original because it is. I have not submitted this yet. And so you just scroll down to the bottom and there it is. So it's all queued up now. So now if I were to click on it, it would open up in a new tab, in a new window. And there it is. So now, they're on my website. So that is how, and that actual dig page itself can actually rank within the search engines. So you would see somebody typed in, free niche research or niche research videos, they might come across this actual dig page, which would link them right into my site. So that's kind of how the power of social bookmarking works. That's why it's one of the avenues that I really, really appreciate and like to use online. So that's how you use those tools. Now let's talk a little bit about the automation process here. So we're over here, and I've mentioned social marking already. But what's great about them, let's just type in here our core keyword phrase. So Tulsa, Oklahoma chiropractors. And you want to just choose bookmark this. So when you're first starting out there, just choose the bookmark this. And that's what I meant when I said put in your username and your title. And what's going to happen here is it's going to actually bring up a list of various social bookmarking websites, and they rank them by what they consider the top sites, and then a whole list of other sites. And so you can go to socialmarking.com to find a huge list of other websites to consider submitting to. So you can just open up these projects or open up these sites, follow the instructions, and go through and set up your account. So but notice what it did when I actually clicked on that link right there. This is one of those tools that kind of helps you automate the process. Notice how it pre-filled my title and my URL, and then you can just copy and paste your description in there if you wanted to. So that's how that would function. So if you find another one that you want to submit to, so let's say we're going to use furl maybe. So you would just need to sign into your account. And I may have clicked on the wrong one. Okay. And sometimes these companies merge here and there, so that's something to keep in mind too. So when that happens, sometimes these automatic tools, which I'm glad that happened because it looks like furl is redirecting over to digo.com, which is similar to Dig. Mr. Wong is another one that works well. So all these sites work really, really great. So it kind of gives you an idea of where to find the top ones. I've already actually submitted this site, so this actually already has been submitted. But all you would do is just log in, and it would pre-fill with your name and email. And Social Marker works very similar, where you put in your title, your link, your text, and your tags. This one, sometimes it's a little buggy, I'll be honest, but it does work fairly well. And you can go through here and quickly just click on each one of these, or basically not click through, but put in your information there and then move on to where it says submit, and then it will just take you through the process of submitting it to these various social bookmarking sites that you have checked here. So that's how you would use socialmarker.com to find social bookmarking sites, and then you can use social marking to find a few more. And I really like the list that Social Marker has made available. So the other tool that I wanted to discuss with you is onlywire.com. I've touched on it previously, but I just want to show you a live example here on how to use it. So you go right over here to onlywire.com, and this tool is really great because it will actually automatically submit for you. But what you're going to do here is go and choose sign up when it's your first time there. And it will take just a moment here. So you're just going to sign up with your username, with your password, and with your email address, and just put in that information. And you want to choose the free promote option. So you do not want to do the paid option unless you feel like paying. But the free promote option is very simple. It's basically you just copying and pasting a code onto your site that would basically make your basically all it's going to do is you just need to add a line of code, just like I did with Google Analytics, to the footer of your website, to somewhere on your website, so that the bookmark and share icon like this displays. And it actually can be beneficial because people can go to your site and potentially bookmark and share. So then read through the terms and conditions and then choose Start Only Wire. And so I'm going to just log in though because I already have an account with them. So we're just going to go over here to log in, which is what you would do when you come back to them. And so I'm going to just log in here to my account, and I'm using Internet Explorer for this example just so you guys are aware. Okay, so what you're going to do here is go right on over to set up your bookmarking sites. So when you first log in, And what you're going to find here is a huge list, or a good sized list, of social bookmarking sites to consider submitting to. And so it gives you an opportunity to put in your username right here and your password. So that's my username right there, is Fast Cash Counts. And if you don't have accounts with these sites, you would just click right there, and it's going to, for some reason, open up in two windows. It's just how they set it up, but you only need the one window open. So it's taking me over here to bebo.com, and I would just choose, when you're ready to set up your account, just go through the steps to setting up your new account, which is, right here, sign up now. So put in your full name, your email, your password, and your date of birth. So I'm going to just do that right here because they just added that to that site. So let's just do that. Okay, so we're just plugging in the information here. And I just had a birthday just last weekend. So, alright, so we're just going to plug in the information. You can do what you want on the age, and then choose sign up now. And I usually skip this next process. Most of them will try to get you to invite your friends. This is the basics, information about who you are and what you do. And if they give you a chance to have a website, I would try to put it in there if you can. But that's just me, so try to put in your website if you can at all possible. And then just choose save, and you can always change your profile later. Okay, so I've now set up my account with them. And what you would do then is just go right on back to log in, which is going to be your username or your email address. So there's my username that they gave me. They automatically send me an email address. And you're just going to put in that username, whichever one, either they give it to you or you set it up, and then you put in your password. So there's my password, very basic. And when you hit save, it's going to make these all ... So after you've set that up, just hit save my logins. So it says your login information has been changed. So what you want to do then, again, with social bookmarking, is go in and set up with each and every one of these. And again, once you're logged into, you're going to go over here to where it says my account, and you want to make sure the free promote option is checked again. And what you want to do, it's going to say add the following HTML code to your website. So you're just going to right click and copy that code, and you're actually going to go to your WordPress site or the code view of your HTML site, and you're going to just copy and paste that in there. And again, if you have questions with that, let me know. Don't let that hold you up. But after you've put it in there to your site, you're just going to type in the URL of wherever you placed it, and you're going to choose click to check the status. And so I'll show you guys how that looks, how the code will show up once it's actually on your site, just so you know what to look for. So there it is right here in the footer. The bookmark and share icon is showing up right there. And you should see this little green check mark that says completed. And once you see that, you should be in good shape. And then just choose update my account after you've read the terms of service, and that will make you a free a free account there. So let's just scroll up here and go back over here to your username, which is how you get to the management section of things. And so at this point, you should have set up your bookmarking sites in there, and you should have set up your account to make sure it's on the free option. And now you want to choose for your web browser. So what you're going to do here is, if you happen to be using Internet Explorer, what you're going to do is just simply right click on the button and choose add to favorites. And I already have it in my favorites, so I just right clicked on it and I chose add to favorites. If you're using Mozilla Firefox, you're actually going to take this icon and you would drag it to the top bar here. So notice how I clicked here and I dragged it up here, because Firefox has what's called like a bookmarking toolbar, so you could actually take it and drag it up there. And so at this point then, the next step, what happens here is you're going to go, when you're ready to use OnlyWire, you're going to go find a post that you are interested in bookmarking. So let's just go back to the post that I just wanted to bookmark on my site here. And what I'm going to choose here, I'm using Internet Explorer for this example, is I just choose the favorites here, and I'm going to just scroll down, and it's going to say bookmark and share. So I just click on that. So notice I just went to my favorites, I chose bookmark and share, and now I just simply log into my accounts, and I choose sign in. What I'm going to do here is it's going to have all these different accounts checked right here. Okay, so all these accounts are checked, and I'm going to just put in my tag. I'm going to put in my notes, so okay. Notice there's my short description, and if I had already copied and pasted this beforehand, it would have gone a lot quicker, so that's why I recommend you do that. And then simply choose bookmark this page. And what's going to happen, it's going to go through the process, and it just bookmarked my site to several sites all at once. And so it's going to take you, just a few moments once all these accounts are set up to when you add new content, to when you want to bookmark a new video, to when you want to bookmark a new press release. You notice how fast it can kind of make this thing work for you. And when you log into your account, it's going to see, so notice right here, it's telling me that it's already been submitted to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sites really quickly. And if I were to refresh that, notice it shows up a few more. Now what happens here though, is some of these sites are going to say to finalize the submission, and they want to take you through another step. So as an example here, let's just choose this one right here, one of the ones that says finalize. Now some of these are going to show up as failures, and even if your username and password are correct, they're going to fail from time to time for whatever reason. That site server's down, OnlyWire's having a hard time logging in. There's a good chance it could be your login details, so you might check that. But oftentimes you will get failure rates. Sometimes the same site will fail over and over. If that happens, I just check that account, and make sure you have your username and password right. But sometimes it'll be one site one time, the next time another site. So if you find one that keeps failing, you might go back and manually submit that. So keep that in mind. It is going to happen from time to time. These tools are free, just like any kind of software and web type program. They are human, and they will make errors from time to time. The humans created them, not the programs are human, but you get the idea. So notice here it took from my, it already pre-filled with all the information I already gave them. They just want me to go through more of a manual process to get it there. But they make it very, very easy to do. So let's just choose submit. And let's make sure that internet is selected as well. Okay, so there's my categories. Now I just choose submit if I want to. And it's going through the process of submitting that, so it actually has been now submitted. And that was just by simply clicking on that little icon that asked me to finalize the link. So notice here, I've got some accounts that I should probably go in and take a look at because they keep failing throughout. But notice now that says success, so I would go back to dig, and I've already done this video to dig today, so we don't need to worry about that. We go through and choose, finalize if you have not already submitted there. So finalize will get you through the rest of the way. So now if I were to refresh again, notice here it'll pull in any more sites if any more of them have been submitted. So you're going to now see exactly how easy and simple that is. So now the next time you're ready to bookmark, you just either go to your top bar up here if you're in Firefox and click on it, or you go to your favorite tools. So that is step by step how you use the OnlyWire feature. So the next thing that we're going to do is move on to Web 2.0 properties, and we're going to spend about 30 minutes on that and then open up the lines for some more questions and answers. So let me just jump right back here to the presentation here for you guys. Here's a list of social bookmarking sites again, so you guys get these down. Oh, let me make sure I have these. I'm going to pause for a moment and get a quick drink and let you guys get a break from writing, but here are the URLs you guys can write down. And these 4 sites here, Dig, Propeller, Mix, Reddit. Another one I should have added here was Delicious. That's another really good site. That's good as well. So, but here's a few more social bookmarking strategies before I jump right into Web 2.0 properties for you. Again, you might consider setting up multiple social bookmarking profiles, and that's just because you want to be doing a lot of bookmarking, like as you add new articles and things like that, like I'll talk about. You might ask friends to bookmark pages for you, and maybe you do the same thing for them. So kind of I help you, you help me, that kind of thing. It kind of helps, makes bookmarking look slightly more accurate in things, or more a little more kosher, because you're not just bookmarking all your own sites, so you might filter in some different sites as well into your account. Same thing is you want to also bookmark other sites as well. Maybe email your list if you happen to have a mailing list. Say, hey, I just wrote this great new article. If you like it, share it with your friends by bookmarking or something like that. Real casual. Don't ask them to. One thing to not do is don't do a competition. I've made that mistake. Learned my lesson. It was in the terms. I guess I violated them. But don't do a competition where you say, well, for everybody that bookmarks this, I'm going to give you a free PDF or a free report or a free consultation or whatever, because that's going to a surefire way to get you in trouble. So, but basically you can ask people to, because sometimes what happens with these bookmarking sites is people will vote on them. And so the more votes they get, the higher they will rank within those high traffic social bookmarking sites, which can be good for you. And some article ideas that do well as far as this kind of format goes, just kind of a natural flow as far as a lot of people voting up content, is things like, top 10 list, top 50 list, top 25 list. Those things kind of look like people put a lot of effort into it. If you can even do like an odd number, like 76 ways to earn money online, that might grab people's attention. Things like that. You can come up with some ideas there. Bookmark videos you submit, things like press releases, videos again, articles, and new blog posts, articles that you submitted to sites like Easing Articles and Article Dashboard and stuff like that. Dig.com and a few other bookmarking sites won't accept Easing Articles links just because they've been spammed. So you might consider, okay, so I've submitted my site to Go Articles, so I'll submit my link from goarticles.com, as well. So, but use, set up multiple profiles and do a lot of bookmarking, because it can be really effective for you as far as getting the fresh content indexed really quick, as far as getting you more exposure. It can build a few links into different things, but it's also just another exposure tactic. That's really the core element there. And so when you have new keyword phrases to target and go after, do an additional bookmark. Bookmarking helps build backlinks, exposure, and helps get your new content indexed quickly. And building links to article, video sites, and Web 2.0 sites will help them rank as well, because what happens is a lot of these Web 2.0 properties, video sites, article directories, they're already considered high authority sites. And by you building a backlink into them from social bookmarking or another element, it will tell the search engines that there's more votes for that exact page, for that exact keyword phrase. And so that will potentially help your other Web 2.0 properties and things like that rank in the search engine. I've had this happen. I kind of coined the phrase, build links to your links. So you have backlinks going into your site, build links into the sites that are linking into your sites. So for example, if you create, let's say a great article and you have it posted on articledashboard.com or articlesbase.com, another article directory, and your article was done right, it has good keyword phrases, and you would go and bookmark that exact article, so do a bookmark on that exact article as an example. Or let's say you take example from the press release that you learned about in the previous lesson, and you do a bookmark on your actual press release. That's another great example of how you can make that function for yourself. So now we're going to jump right into Web 2.0 properties. This is actually part one of at least one other one about Web 2.0 properties, because there are a lot of them to use, and I want to make sure I have time for questions at the end. So we're going to jump right into Web 2.0 properties here. So Web 2.0 sites are basically social type websites where most of the content is user generated, and you can leverage Web 2.0 properties for more backlinks, exposure, and traffic. There are many different Web 2.0 properties that you can leverage for more traffic. You simply add your content to them. And link to your website if applicable. So, a lot of these Web 2.0 sites, they're set up to where all their content is really user generated. So they don't have an in-house content development team, but they rely on people like yourself and a lot of other people that are out there creating content to submit, to these various sites. And a lot of them don't mind if you're adding backlinks back, because you're actually helping them by adding content. They get a lot of traffic by having more content, because really a basic thing of SEO, and just a quick SEO tip is, the more content, the good, more keyword rich, relevant content you can add to your site, the better off you're going to do in the long run. It really comes down to being, simple in simple terms. That's kind of how it is. But you want to use your core keyword phrases as the title of these properties as well. Just like with everything else, focus on those core keyword phrases. So here is a few websites. 4 Web 2.0 sites I will show you and how to use include squidoo.com, hubpages.com, weebly.com, and issue.com. That's a new one. So issue.com you've probably never heard of before. So it's a really cool tool, but here's some 4 Web 2.0 properties I'll show you how to use right now. And I'm going to jump right in. It shouldn't take me too long, but we're going to just dive right in here and get to work. So first one we're going to go take a look at is squidoo.com. So let's just jump right in there. But you guys can take notes on these as I go over there to start working on Squidoo. So I'm just going to log in here or go over to squidoo.com, and we're going to set up a new account. Okay, so I'm over here on squidoo.com. Now, before you're ready to do anything with Web 2.0 properties, and I should have mentioned this in the slide here, but I will say it right now, you need to have an article of some sort ready to go. So you need to have an article that you're ready to submit, because otherwise it won't do you any good to have these Web 2.0 properties if you don't already have an article that you're ready to submit. So what I'm going to do here is go in and I'm going to set up some Web 2.0 properties. So here is an example of an article. So I've already got an article up. Easy, effective online marketing strategy helps you generate more leads. This is an article I wrote for a Chamber of Commerce newsletter. So I'm just going to modify this slightly so that the title has a better keyword phrase in there. So I'm going to show you really fast again, like I think I've showed you in every single video, the AdWords keyword tool. And again, the core thing there is keyword research is such an important element of any marketing campaign, so you want to make sure that you are utilizing it. So go click on Google AdWords. So we're going to open up the AdWords keyword tool here and do a quick look on some keyword phrases that might be good ones to target. Okay, so let's just log in here and find some good keyword phrases. So my article is about video marketing, so we could just type in video marketing right there and see what kind of keyword phrases that we get back to us. So I'm going to just do the get keyword ideas, look up real fast. I'm not really doing this one in depth, but here's some internet video marketing, music video marketing, videos marketing, business video marketing. Let's see here, online video marketing. That's a pretty good one. Video search marketing. So let's try just online video marketing, and then let's just quickly go on over to google.com and do an all-in title search like I've taught you before as well. And we're going to see, okay, so that's got some competition there. So it's under 100,000. It's not going to be a very, very easy one to rank for. But another one was video search marketing, so we can see how that one looks, video search. And that one had a decent amount of searches. So online video marketing is what we'll stick with. So let's just go with that one, online video marketing, because it had quite a bit more search volume. So I'm going to just jump right back over here to Squidoo now that we've determined the keyword phrase. So just choose now start building. When it's your first time there to squidoo.com, just choose start building. So what you're going to do then is choose, either yes, I already have an account, or not yet, this is my first lens. So I'm going to choose not yet, this is my first lens, because I do have a Squidoo accounts, multiple accounts, but I'm going to show you how to set up your new one. So my lens is about online video marketing, and then go to step 2. And you want to get the word out about online video marketing, so now go to step 3. So the lens title here is Online video marketing, and then I'm going to do 6 simple steps. And then when you pick your URL, you want to have your core keyword phrase in the URL that you choose, meaning the link. And you want to have the keyword phrases in there, and if you can, have them separated by dashes. So basically, online dash video dash marketing. So weight dash loss dash articles, bird dash watching dash tips. You know, whatever the keyword is. So online video marketing with dashes there. Go ahead and choose the topic. This would be related to business or even SEO and affiliate marketing. Your material should be G-rated. And it might tell me, bummer, that URL is already taken, so I'm going to just try another option. So if the dashes won't work, you could also try it with just without any dashes, or you could try, adding in the word 6 steps. Let me just add that in because that's part of my article. Or you could try online video marketing 1, 2, 3, article easy online video marketing, whatever it is that makes it work. But you want to at least have your core keyword phrase somewhere in there. Now, I need to go back because it took off my nice little article title. So 6 simple steps. Online video marketing, 6 simple steps. Now choose go to step 4. Right here on step 4, the best keyword is online video marketing. So add more keywords. It might be internet, video, business, video marketing, and just video marketing. And just choose go to step 5. And you want to choose, it depends on how you want to do it. You could either donate your profits to a charity, because sometimes they will give you royalties for your different pages if you get a lot of traffic to them. It's not going to be a huge income thing, so but I do know some people that can make some money on it. But just choose I want some cash if you want. You can always change that. Now you're almost there. Keep it up. They keep you encouraged. Just put in your email address. So put in your PayPal there, your username. So for your username, you could just use, your website's name, for example. So I might let's just use my name here. Put in your real name or the pseudonym that you might be going under, if that's the case. Yes, you accept the terms of service after you've read them, of course. You don't have to get the lens of the day, but that's not a bad report to get, just because it could maybe tell you what some hot lenses are doing, so you maybe know what to do. Squidoo pages are called lenses, just so you know, in case you're wondering why they keep saying lens. You don't really need to worry about the newsletter unless you want to get it. They do have some good tips in there, so you might need that. So let me just put in that keyword and then choose done. Okay, somebody already has my username, it looks like. It might even be me. So let's just use a different name here. SEO counts. Let's just use the same password. Okay, so just choose done at that point. Okay, so what you're going to do now is you're now ready to start adding content to your Squidoo site, to your Squidoo lens or page. So what you're going to do then is under the introduction, what you want to do is go ahead and choose edit, and then your lens intro title is typically going to be something with your keyword phrase in it. It's kind of different. So 6 simple, 6 easy to follow video marketing strategies. And then the lens description, you could put in just a brief description, about your lens if you wanted to. So if you want to just type in, some core components of your lens, so you could just say just a brief summary of what you're going to cover. So The following is an easy to implement and simple strategy for getting more video marketing. Learn 6 easy steps Okay, so there's my lens description. It's just a short little description. You could also put in more content there if you want. That's, advised, not it's not necessary by any means. And then just choose save. It does help if you offset things with like an image. So I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna grab like YouTube's logo as an example. Just for example's sake here. Or actually, I might, better yet, I'm gonna just use my own picture, because that's going to build my credibility up. So I'm just going to use my picture, Paul Counts of Count. Okay, so I put my name in there so I can add in my picture. You don't have to use this could just be an image related to whatever service or whatever it is that you are offering. So I'm just going to go over to my pictures here. And then just choose upload photo. Okay, and then just choose save. Okay, so there's the picture, there's the strategies. Okay, now the next thing that you want to do is you want to go to the text module, because you're going to be using an actual, what you're going to be using is an actual article. So you want to take the text module and we want to move that up. So go right down here to where it says, add your blog there. You could just cancel that for right now. And notice that will knock that down. So now it says new text module. So you're just going to choose edit. Okay, and then now you're just going to put in something, simple video marketing how to. And you don't have to give it a subtitle. So here are the 6 steps. And enter your text below. So what I'm going to do then is come right over here and I'm going to just grab all my text from my article, and I'm actually going to open this up in a notepad file because I like to copy and paste from notepad. It's much easier and it cleans up stuff like this, because you notice how it's all jumbled together here. And if you were to choose word wrap, each one of these lines is going to be a separate paragraph. So what I like to do is be able to easily break apart the paragraphs for people. So you're just going to highlight all that, copy it now, so it's gonna go in a lot smoother. Otherwise it would have gone in very jumbled like that. So notice how much cleaner it goes in here. And now you're just going to choose save. And so notice how that functions. Now couple other things that you do want to do for this exact process is you want to put in an HTML search engine friendly anchor text link. So you need to go over to Google and type in HTML link code. I don't have that code memorized. I probably should by now. I use it all the time, but I still use these sites out there. Quack, it's a good one, but you can just go to htmlcode.com and it will just highlight this. So basically you just highlight this code, so you can copy it and come right over here, because you want to make your core keyword phrase, something that links off to your website. Plus you want to have a good call to action, as well for your links. So you might do something like, marketing your business online is absolutely free to implement and can help you make money online. So that's the keyword phrase that I'm going to link to my website with. So right here, when you take this URL code, when you're doing a custom URL, you're taking right where it says href equals, and between the quotes you're actually going to put in your website URL. So it's http colon slash slash whatever website you are trying to promote and send people to. So paulcounts.com. And then between the A, so you're going to notice there's an A that starts this off and an A that closes that off. And after the URL, there's actually another little pointer angling to the right. Now this is the same code that you use when you're doing article marketing in your resource box, so keep that in mind. So your keyword phrase would go right in there. Now if you want to do something a little more special too, you could also highlight and make that stand out in bold, so your link stands out in bold. And you do that by simply doing caret to the left, the letter B, shift, caret to the right, and then you go to the end of the A and you do caret to the left. You do a forward slash, which is on the key right next to your shift, your right shift key, and then you bold it, and then you're just going to, we're just going to put in that other bolded key there. And then you can highlight that same URL string, and you could use it as kind of like a call to action to get people to go onto your website again. So you can copy that, and then we can come on down here and say, here are the steps, boom, boom, boom. Okay. And now we say, let's put in our link there, and then let's change out the clickable part that says, for more, click here for more internet marketing tutorials. And then I'm just going to save that, and notice now that my link is now clickable. So now I have an anchor text search engine friendly link up there. So now I've got that module in there. The next module is they might ask you for Amazon. So if you had something to sell on Amazon, you could put that in there. Otherwise, I don't really worry about that. Maybe you have a Flickr account, so you could do something there. Or you have a YouTube video. Well, I actually have a YouTube video that corresponds with this. But if you don't, you could find a YouTube video related to your niche, because you want to add a few content modules on here. So I'm going to go to YouTube videos, and this is all just how you do squidoo.com. So I'm just going to go over here to YouTube, and we're going to choose, video marketing YouTube. So let's just grab a video. I'm just looking under my username for a particular video that I was going to use. But if I can't find it, I'm just going to use something different here. Okay, so let's just jump right over here to another video. So let's just grab this video here, new free keyword research video. So I'm just going to click on that, and video marketing YouTube videos. And you don't have to put in a subtitle or description. It's going to say select your videos. You could either have YouTube pick or you could pick. So I'm going to choose let me pick, and then I'm going to choose show full size video, or you could show the thumbnail video, so you could show 3 videos, but I'm going to just show 1 video. So I'm going to just open up my video here, I'm going to copy it, and I'm going to go right over here to where it says enter YouTube video URL, and then I'm going to hit save. So notice now that brings up my nice little YouTube video right there that integrates quite nicely with all this. So the next thing you're going to do is, you want the guest book one to show up. Now where it says new delicious bookmarks, you could edit those. You could actually take bookmarks by username if you wanted to, and you could enter your Delicious account, your URL. Delicious is a social bookmarking site. So let's just do here, how many bookmarks would you like to show? Maybe it's just 5. You could also choose show popular bookmarks. I'm going to just choose the ones from my account. So notice now it's pulling these videos directly from my account. So now it's linking directly into all these pages that I've linked into. So now here's another little feature here. If you want to do Google blog search and you wanted to pull in more relevant content related to your topic, so maybe it's more content related to video marketing, so you could type in video marketing. and then you could just type, do search for blogs. Number of posts to display, let's say it's 3. How much to display, let's say headline and abstract to add content, and you want it to update every day, and then just choose save. And that's going to just pull in these new articles every single day, so it's going to add some fresh content here. Now if you want to add in another module, what you want to do is you can come right up here, and maybe you want to add in a new text module at the end, or you want to browse all modules. There's a module on here that I would recommend that you add, and that is the RSS one, because you want to grab your RSS feed from your blog if you can. So you want to just choose that little green button and add that one. And let's see here, you also want to take this link list one as well and just choose done adding. And then you can scroll on down here, and new RSS, add your blog, just choose edit, and you're going to new RSS, you could call this a keyword phrase. I'm going to call it internet marketing blog. And what URL would you like to pull from? So put in your URL. How many headlines would you like to display? I'm going to just choose 5. And would you like an excerpt? I will put excerpt 100 characters. And then how frequently should this be displayed? I would say every other day. And would you like to be HTML friendly? I'd say yes. And then I'm going to just choose save. And this is pulling my RSS feed from my actual blog. So now they can link into my blog. So now you can really see how powerful this is becoming. So now under link list here, type or paste your link here. So let's just put in my link. And I'm linking into my blog. You could also link into your video if you wanted to. So let's just, add in another link. And name this link. That's where you want to put in your core keyword phrase. Okay, then we're going to just save both of those. Next thing you want to do is scroll all the way down. And it looks like they want me to add in a description, so that's what I'm going to do. So learn some inside tips to make more money online. And then I'm going to add in more description for my other one here and say learn some powerful SEO and website marketing strategies. Okay, now I'm going to choose save and close out that module. And notice now these are linking right into my sites with good core anchor text friendly links. So the next thing is, if you want to go in and say you want to reorder these. So say you want to reorder these different modules. So let's say I want to bring my RSS feed up there. I would just click right here and I can just drag it up there to where I want it to go. So I like my RSS feed up higher. I might like the guest book down lower. I want my links up here, my delicious bookmarks after that. Amazon voting, I don't really need that one, so I'm just going to delete that. And so at this point you should have a nice clean page set up with some good solid content on it that's fresh and that's upgrading. And so I need to go back and reorder this though, because I did not hit apply. So I'm just going to be simply dragging this up here. So there's the RSS feed from my blog. And my link list, I want it up here. And I want my guest book down at the bottom. And then I'm going to just choose apply. Okay, so now that I've applied this, notice where my RSS feed is showing up. So at this point, my blog, it is all completed. Now, one other thing you want to do is under your bio, you want to make sure you put in a bio. So, so Paul Counts is a full-time internet marketer. Okay, now just choose save. Your photo, you could add in your photo. I already have my photo there, so I don't need to worry about that. And when you're done, just choose publish. And the reason you want to have all these modules, or quite a few of them, is because that's going to make sure that it gets published. So you just publish your first lens ever. That's a special one. Here are 3 things you might like to know as you get going. So now you could actually already Twitter your lens. You could sign up for the lens of the day. If you're on Facebook, you could brag about it. So I'm just going to choose tweet it, and right away send an update to Twitter. But I have not set up my Twitter account, so if you had set up your Twitter account for your profile, it would automatically go through there. So there you have it. So what you're going to do then is you can go ahead and log in. So you can just choose view this lens if you want to see it live. And now your lens is going to be live and ready to roll. So 6 easy video marketing strategies. There it all is. There's the links to my site. My RSS feed is actually pulling in. It might take it a little bit. So these are all articles people could go to on my site. If you don't have a blog, you could just feed in a blog from somebody else with a relevant blog, because that will help add relevant content. And you want to just try to keep your links at the top. And these Squidoo pages themselves can rank along with getting special backlinks to you. So that's the ins and outs of setting up a really good Squidoo lens. Now, one final little step that you could do is remember this little icon over here. I'm going to bookmark and share this. So I'm going to just log into my account right here. And online video marketing. So video marketing. So notice how I'm just leveraging what I just taught you how to do. And then just choose bookmark this page, and it will allow just a few minutes for that. And the final thing to do is go over to pingomatic.com, and this is going to help the search engines pick up this content. So by bookmarking this and doing the Pingomatic thing, now I have the search engine spiders coming to this page really quickly. So for the page, you're just going to copy and paste the entire URL up here and ping that, paste that in there, and then choose check all services and choose send ping. So now I've created my Squidoo lens and I have pinged it out there for you to go see. So the next site that we're going to take a look at is hubpages.com, and just so you know, Squidoo.com takes the most time when you're first setting that one up. So I'm going to take you over to Squidoo.com, or excuse me, to hubpages.com. And I'm probably going to have to hold off on the other 2 sites, Weebly and Issue.com, until next week. So I'm actually going to show you those ones next week, just so you guys are aware of that. So you've successfully signed out of your account. Okay, so I'm logging into my account here. Here's Hub Pages. When you're new to Hub Pages, you just choose Sign Up Now, and you put in a username that you'd like to go with, an email, and a password, and then you just choose Create Your Account. But I already have an account here. Their process is not as complicated as or as Social Squidoo, or it takes as long, I should say. We're going to just come right over here and say Start a New Hub. So choose your title. We're just going to select Online Video Marketing 6 Simple Steps. And what you're going to do here is just take that information. Now, we're not actually running the risk of duplicate content. I know that might be something going through your head right now. And that is basically because duplicate content is actually a myth. Duplicate content exists when you're putting the same article on the same topic on the same site over and over and over. So that basically means if you took this article and you submitted it on 5 different hubs or 5 different Squidoo lenses or 5 times on your own blog, then that would be duplicate content. But when you're actually doing it on your own site, you would want to redo the article and rechange the article before you put it on your site. It will still add value to your blog or site, but it's oftentimes best to just have unique content. But you're just going to choose a category here, and you want to just choose a starting layout to work with. And I'm going to just choose text, and then you want to add 2 tags. So we're just going to choose video marketing and internet marketing. And we could choose online marketing and website marketing. And notice as you add them, it keeps adding more tabs. So you can just choose continue. They're going to say original contents rewarded with higher hub score. So if you do want to get a higher hub score by them, then you could use your own article, but you obviously want to use your own content there. You know, no deception. So your title tags must match what is there. Make sure you're following these, and then put in the information here that because they're preventing spammers, and then choose continue. Okay, so we've got our module here, online video marketing. Business, this would be more like marketing and sales. Choose optional, so it could go under web-based marketing. So it depends on how you want the ads to show up. You will actually get paid for the advertisements. So right here you've got your text modules. And where it says text, it says click to edit. So you choose this little edit button right here. Excuse me. So I'm going to actually go to this one first and choose edit. And we're going to say 6 simple and what you're going to do here is come right over here to the content right here. Oops. Okay, so here is our content. Here are the steps. Free to implement and a great way to make money online. So that's going to be our core keyword phrase again, make money online. So notice how this one's a little easier. You don't have to know HTML code. So you just highlight the code right there. You just highlight the word, and choose insert link. So choose that little link button and type in your link right there. And you could interlink to another hub page if you had one as well. So that's another option. So you could say, click here for more free internet marketing articles. And if you want to bold anything, you just hit B, just like you're using like Microsoft Word. And so I'm just going to link up that word right to my blog again. And choose insert. And then just choose save changes. And notice how that all displays right in there. Now if I wanted to highlight the step 1 and all that so they stood out more, I would just go up here to edit, and I can just scroll on down here and highlight each and every one of those. So I'm going to just, step 1, we're going to make that bold. Step 2, let's make that bold. And you should start seeing the example here. So it's just hitting the B again, just like you're using Microsoft Word, just like your Outlook email program, whatever it is that you use. So we're just going to highlight each and every one of these and bold those, and let's bold that, and then choose save changes. Always make sure you save the changes for those modules. Okay, so now let's scroll on down here, and here is another module. If you wanted to add in a photo, you could do that. So just choose edit, and you could actually throw in your picture if you wanted to. I'm going to just choose discard changes, and you could just hit this little red X if you want to delete that capsule. Comments, you can keep that open as well. And if you want to add in more modules to the right side here, like let's say you want to add in the RSS module, and let's say you want to add in the links module. All you do is you just simply click on them, and let's say you want to add in a video. So let's just add in those core elements here. So here's the RSS module. Functions very similar to the Squidoo one. So we're just going to say internet marketing or make money online RSS feed. Let's say internet marketing RSS feed. And type in your feed URL, which if you're using WordPress, your RSS feed is going to be yourdomainname.com/feed. And just choose a maximum, shorten description, and then choose preview RSS. So there it is, and then choose save. So the RSS feed is now working. The link module, internet. So just type in your link. And it's going to say the title tag, so you could actually fix that to the core title tag that you want to work with. And then you can add in another link as well. So I'm just going to add in one more link. And it automatically is pulling from your title tag. So again, if you use good title tags, you shouldn't have a problem. So, but let's just choose this one, free private label rights ebook, and let's choose test link, and hit done, and then just choose save changes there. And so notice now we've got nice links right there. And finally, we're on to the video module, which is very simple. There's a module we don't want, so we hit the X. Here is the video. So I'm going to just choose the video URL, so we could go right back over here to YouTube and we can find a random video that we've created or one on internet marketing. Okay, so there's our link, preview video, and if all looks good, just hit save. And then now the next thing you're going to do is come all the way up to the top here, and you're going to choose publish. And it will take just a moment to publish out there. And it looks like it went through okay. So you could tweet this if you wanted to, or you could use Start a New Hub. I would recommend that you do a Twitter post on it, because what that's going to do is help the search engine start indexing it and finding it. So you could use the tweet this option, because that would actually start getting that picked up and indexed. So there it is. Now again, you would just go right on over to pingomatic.com and you could just ping this post as well if you wanted to. So there's everything. There's the video. There's how it all functions. So that's how you use hubpages.com now as well. So I'm going to jump back over here to the slide here, and we're going to close this thing out. So squidoo.com and hubpages.com, I was able to show you how to use both of those. Weebly.com and issue.com, I'm going to hold off on those until probably 2 more weeks when we go back over some additional Web 2.0 properties. Those ones are important, but we can hold off on those for right now.